tonight has done a wonderful job in taking control of the running game for Baltimore.
Pinball Clemens is the man bringing it back for the Argos. He stays on his feet coming up the sidelines, and this will be the best field position in some time that Marvin Graves has been operating from on a first down situation. Scott?
Don, I'm just behind the Argonaut bench, and needless to say, this was not the way that Bob Obilovich was hoping the second half would go. At halftime, he spoke to his players about how the wind went out of their sails on the block punt by Wayne Lamley, asked them to raise their level of intensity to what it was before that, because he said prior to that block punt, he felt they were playing down for down with the Baltimore CFLrs, and now it'll be a struggle with Baltimore in front by 17. And by the way, starting center Blaine Schmidt is out of this game with a concussion.
And that means Pierre Vercheval has shifted to the center position. The pass is complete to Paul Masadi. He lunges forward, trying to pick up a first down, and will be close.
Don, right here with Vercheval moving into the center, Schmidt moving in, or Schmidt's out with the concussion. That's going to be an adjustment because he hasn't taken many snaps, and you have to have that rhythm sequence. Great reception that time by Gordon on the play to pick up the first down, but Pierre Vercheval is a very muscular offensive lineman, and so it's not a fluid motion for him to be snapping the ball back to the rookie quarterback Marvin Graves, and they haven't worked it all this year together.
The Western Ontario grad spent 5 years with Edmonton, and he began his Toronto career as a center, so he's not unfamiliar with the position, but that means that Francois Belanger comes into the lineup with Vercheval shifting into the center position. 35,223 watching this playoff game at Memorial Stadium.
Don, when you think about Marvin Graves, if we get to look, since the first quarter, he has only amassed 42 yards passing since that tremendous first quarter when the Argonauts put 10 points on the scoreboard.
This is what you might call a freebie for Marvin Graves. Although he is going to keep, he dives forward, will have the first down, but there's a penalty called in the play.
Normally you'll get that in the offside situation. You get another look at Robert Drummond here on the bench, looking for another opportunity. 2 plays, 56 yards, a 33-yard dash for the touchdown. That'll get you in the end zone in a hurry.
But he had an earlier dash to the end zone, a 42-yarder with a great straight arm along the way on Reggie Pleasant, called back by a penalty.
Tremendous move by Robert Drummond. He's showed great athletic ability tonight in this game. And so this Baltimore team is very deep at the running back position, and it's proved their worth tonight.
The penalty call against Baltimore gives Toronto a first down. Graves is now throwing for Irwin. He's got a touchdown. He was bumped down at the goal line by Carl Anthony. There were 2 flags, one with the initial contact and then one that came late.
Don, that was a move way beyond Dale Irwin's years because he slowed down to allow Carl Anthony to make the contact, and when he did, he exploded away from the contact, made the reception for the 34-yard touchdown pass from Marvin Graves. The Argonauts could be right back in this game. They get this call. But Coach Obilovich anticipating the call right here, feeling a little unnervy. Everyone in the stadium saw it. Obilovich is wondering what is taking the officials so much time to make the call that everyone recognized.
Might there be a dispute that one official saw it one way, the other saw it another way?
Well, when you're standing behind a defensive back, you're allowed to slow down. When he ran into him, the defensive back initiated the contact. Irwin, like I said, a play well beyond his years.
They're calling interference both ways. I believe that's going to be the call. And Bob Obilovich can't believe it.
I don't blame him. I would be beside myself if I was the Toronto head coach. If we can get another look at this on replay, Irwin had all the right to his space on the field. That was a bad call by the officials.
Forward pass interference. Baltimore number 9. Separate incident. Forward pass interference. Toronto 83. We'll redo the down.
There's no way that they could call pass interference on Irwin on that play. Dave Irwin was behind the secondary. We'll get a great look. He slows down, waiting on the ball. Anthony runs up his back. You're allowed to that spot on the field when you're a receiver. That's a blown call by the officials.
Wow. Marvin Graves comes right back with the pass to Clemens, and this will be close to another first down. It looked as though Irwin was clearly in behind the defender, Charles Anthony. It didn't appear as though he made any contact with Anthony, but they called interference both ways, and it was a late flag after Irwin got into the end zone that produced the penalty call.
Well, this was a safe pass for Graves to pick up yardage on the second down situation to give him a 3rd and short, and the Argos are going to be forced to go for it here.
2nd and 3 for Toronto. Handoff to Shamsuddin, and he will be close, but I don't think he's got it. However, I don't think there's any doubt either that Graves, as he looks to the bench, will be trying to pick up the first down.
Don, they're going to have to go for it here in the 3rd and short situation, as time is running out here in the 3rd quarter.
Miller comes into the ball game as Alvin Walton comes out for Baltimore in a defensive role. 3rd and 1 for the Argos. This looks like the final play of the 3rd quarter. Shamsuddin bursts through to pick up the Toronto first down. He will keep the drive alive.
First down, Toronto at the end of 3.
And that is also the final play of quarter 3, with Baltimore leading Toronto 27-10. In the ball game, but James, I still think those 2 turnovers where Toronto was unable to capitalize might have made the difference in the ball game. You think otherwise? You think it was the pass to Dave Irwin that was called back?
The pass to Dave Irwin, the non-call when they call the interference when Carl Anthony ran up Dave Irwin's back. I think at that point it took all the wind and the momentum away from the Toronto Argonauts when they had an opportunity to get back in this game, and we'll see it right here perfect. How can you call a receiver for interference when he doesn't do anything to obstruct the flight of the defender?
Well, there were 2 flags in the play. One official called defensive interference on Carl Anthony, the other offensive interference on Dave Irwin, and that nullified a Toronto touchdown and pretty much, as James said, took the wind out of the sails of the Toronto Argonauts as they go down to defeat to the Baltimore CFLrs in the semifinal game at Memorial Stadium. Scott?
How far can the Baltimore CFLrs go in their first year? All the way to the East Division final, as it turns out. They await the winner of tomorrow's semifinal in Winnipeg now between the Bombers and Rough Riders. And the final score in Edmonton today, the Grey Cup champion Eskimos are out, losing 24-23 to the BC Lions in their West Division semifinal. And here, the final score, 34-15. The CFLers are now within 1 game of a Grey Cup appearance. They love the Canadian game even more in Baltimore now. So long.